It's where you go to bike, hike, and stroll miles of pathways over more than 7,000 acres of parkland. A place to go explore rivers and fish their bountiful waters. Natural places to go marvel at magnificent wildlife while you play outdoors and go wander charming communities. Find all this and more at Destination Downriver. Give it a go.
Today's podcast is presented by MarketInsights.us, with the podcast on YouTube produced by the City of Taylor's Media Center.
Thank you to our team sponsor, Allegra, Marketing, Print, and Design. Let Allegra assist you with your print, mail, design, and signs. Located in Wyandotte, Michigan, or call 734-284-5330.
Hi, I'm Carl Zymak, and this is Destination Downriver. Today we're focusing on the Junior League World Series, scheduled for August the 9th through the 16th in Taylor's Heritage Park. The Junior League World Series is the older brother of the famous Little League World Series, which is played each year in Pennsylvania. While the Little League World Series is made up of 12 and under youth baseball teams, the Junior League World Series is the level of championship play for 13 and 14-year-old players. This is the 44th annual tournament in Taylor, the only home the competition has ever known. A dozen teams from across America and around the world will take part in the tournament. On the United States side of the bracket, teams will represent regions from the East, Southeast, Central, West, Southwest, and Michigan District 5 areas. International teams include representatives from Canada, Mexico, Europe, Africa, Australia, Latin America, and Asia Pacific. With us today are the manager and coaches from the only local team to qualify, the Taylor North Little League All-Stars. Taylor North is the host team and the winner of the Michigan District 5 Championship. Taylor North is managed by Tommy Stubbe. His coaches are Blair Adams and Joe Allen. We'll be back with the panel in one moment. All right, welcome to our panel discussion. Gentlemen, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having us.
Okay, from left to right on your screen, we have Tommy, we have Joe, and we have Blair. And I didn't screw that up. Nope. Tommy, let's start with you. Okay, we're obviously going to talk about your team today, but we're going to talk about teams with you because you were here last year.
Yeah.
Okay, with Teddy Thompson's team, you were on that staff. That team went 1-2 in the tournament. You had a big win to open the thing against Texas, a team that almost got to the championship finals against Chinese Taipei. Is having gone through the Junior League World Series a key to this thing to be successful down the line?
I mean, I think it was, first off, thanks Ted Thompson for letting me be a part of that, because that's awesome, but I got to learn a lot. I got to learn, the process of how everything goes. I mean, you get a little starstruck a little bit when they're throwing you through the process, but just seeing all the teams and, kind of being a part of, the atmosphere of the World Series, it's different. It's different, and I think it's definitely a benefit to have been part of that. As opposed to learning how the processes go and just kind of being there.
What about with Taylor North's success over the last, especially the last decade here, or half decade, however we want to phrase that, being the qualifying team out of the District 5, do you have a bullseye on your back? Do you feel like you have a bullseye on your back? Joe, you want to answer that?
Absolutely.
Absolutely? Mm-hmm. Why?
Well, we know District 5 runs through Taylor North, and everyone else knows that. And when you get that reputation for so long, people start to get tired of it. We hope to keep them tired of it.
Nothing wrong with that. Overall, that organization, Taylor North, is a pretty tight group. Have other coaches, players, and parents shared their tournament experiences with you guys in an effort to help you this season?
100%. I don't think there's a day go by I don't talk to Ted or John or any of the guys, or even I've reached out to Rick Thorning and just kind of asked him his opinions on stuff, and that's just out of respect for those guys, because they obviously have done it on bigger levels multiple times. But being part of Taylor North, it's a one big family. You know, you look around the corner, you can get help. You know, if you got a question, they're there to help you whatever they can. Pretty much any coach with experience will tell you any help you need. You know, let us know. We'll be there. It's a huge benefit. And Taylor North, like I said, it's just a big family.
Yeah, and there's no doubt, because you see people who don't have kids playing at all, yet they're pinched in a tent out there the whole tournament. I mean, it's really kind of amazing, whether they're working concessions or whether they're just watching. It is pretty cool to see that happen. Tell us about your own backgrounds. Why don't we start with you, Blair? Baseball background.
Played through high school, grew up in Wyandotte, no college ball or anything like that.
Okay.
Started coaching with my oldest son, and when he was 5 or 6, so I've been at it for almost 15, 16 years. Coached my daughters in softball, both them, and then now Griffin, who's on this team, and been part of this for, what, three years now together, us three?
Yeah.
So.
Why did you get involved because of your kid?
Oh, absolutely. Okay. Yeah, especially when the oldest, it was basically just watching from afar and being, hey, things need to change. Like, we need some coaching needs to be up elevated a little bit here. You know,
sure.
not Taylor, but where I started. You know,
right.
So then came to Taylor, and it's been a perfect fit. Like, it's a community. People show out. People take pride in here, and I love it.
Joe, what about you?
Well, I started playing baseball in California, Victorville, American Little League. And then we moved out here right before I started high school, and played baseball through high school, travel, Little League. Started playing Little League at Taylor. Actually won a junior league district championship in 2016. That was before the host team got an automatic bid, which would have been cool, but but yeah, then my playing career was over. My Uncle John, who coached this junior league team last year, he asked me to come coach with them during the COVID season, and it's what I've been doing since.
You enjoy it?
Oh yeah.
Okay, all right. Tommy, what about you?
I was a career Little Leaguer. As far as I'm from Belleville, so Belleville area Little League. Played Little League, you know, went through the All-Star thing. Then I played in high school, Belleville High School. Other than that, you know, that's it. That was the highlights of my career.
What was the hinge element to get you involved here?
So in Taylor North, I started coaching because my father, he coached football, baseball, wrestling, and I just always looked up to him.
Okay.
And, you know, just watching the kids grow up, looking up to him, and the kids that still, you know, to this day are, you know, coach. So it's always been something I've kind of wanted to do, just because it's like a respect thing. But as far as Taylor, I was coaching middle school with my dad. My brother was coaching farm, and he was like, "Oh, come out," and, you know, and I came out, and I mean, I was hooked, you know. You know,
once they got you.
I can remember the first kid that was like, "I want you to be my coach," and it was Jay Sean Demink, and still to this day we coach him, you know. And it's one of those things of like, it's one of the Little League just hooked me, you know. It's playing it and then just being a part of the best Little League in the state, you know. How can you not love it?
Blair, now you have a child on the team, okay? You two gentlemen do not.
No.
What's easier, his role or your role?
Let you guys go first on that one.
I don't really have an issue with it, like, per se. Like, probably one of the best compliments I ever got throughout the years was a grandpa one time, probably about 5-6 years ago, came up to me and said they had no clue I had a kid on the team. And this was after like close to a whole season. I just see all the kids as just as one. You know, there's no daddy ball or this or that. It's just we're a team. That's it. You know, the car ride home could be the car ride home, but we're on the field. You're a player. You know, so for me, it's not. I'm fine with it either way. You know, I would coach my kid or not my kid. So
gotcha. What about you guys?
You know, I do think Blair's role is harder. He plays it pretty well. But, you know, you got to try and balance, try not to be too hard on your kid or too soft on your kid.
Sure.
I want to avoid the daddy ball allegations and whatnot. But Blair does a great job.
It's probably a lot easier the better the team is, too.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, because everybody kind of gets it. Where you look like you're ready to say
Yeah, no. I'm going to play devil's advocate here. I'm going to say, you know, listen, Blair does a fantastic job. I mean, these two both do fantastic jobs. I mean, you can see Joe at Pat Park working with just – random kids that want to help, and he's always there. Blair's always down to help, you know. He does tend to, every once in a while, kind of get on his kid a little bit, and he'll tell you, I'm like, hey, remember, I deal with your kid, you know. But favoritism, we have no issues with that. I mean, we love these kids equally. You know, so I do think his is harder because from the outsiders, you know, you always get the people that are, oh, it's only because of son, but not once have I ever had to have that, you know, even conversation. It's kind of cut and dry, no BS kind of stuff. But it's easier for me because I can yell at, you know, any kid and just be fine with it.
Now, have any of you guys coached the girls' side of
Not
this
yet.
at all?
I got 2 T-ballers.
No, okay. I was just curious to hear your comparisons, but I'll leave it just like that. You know, when we talk about experience and going into these bigger tournaments, and heaven knows the Junior League World Series is not the only big tournament. Okay, it's just fairly big. I noticed that you have a Bassinetti, you have a Farner on this team. Those families have been involved, especially when you look at Farner. I mean, he's one of the better high school players now in the whole state. Is that an advantage, a distinct advantage, when you can lure those type of kids and those type of parents and the whole thing? Does that?
So I would say it's an advantage in the sense of, you know, they kind of know what to expect a little bit. You know, being around. You know, I mean, other than that, you know, again, experience is a big thing. I mean, Maddox Bassinetti's are the only 13-year-old on our team.
Gotcha.
But
okay.
I mean, he plays like a 14-year-old. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
So. They have to at this point, don't they?
Yeah.
yeah.
Especially to make that team. I mean, what do you guys think? I mean, it's. I mean, Jackson Farner's been in the spotlight obviously his whole life. You know, obviously his brother, his dad.
Yeah, and his dad coaches.
Yeah.
You know,
but you know, it's an advantage. So.
Can't hurt to have that type of thing. Let's switch. You know, we've been talking a lot about this team. Yeah, obviously Chinese Taipei has really stolen the spotlight and hasn't given it up for a while. I think it's 4 straight and 10 of 11 championships. They seem to do it the right way. When you watch them, do you see some common thread that you say that's why they win?
Incredibly sound defense.
Okay.
Near perfect defense. Pitching is always phenomenal. Defense is always phenomenal. And they don't try to do too much when they hit. They don't try and go for the big hits. They don't try to get the home runs. They just do what they have to do. And that's why they dominate.
You know, you're right about that defense. Their statistics were almost off the map last year. I couldn't believe it because I filed those statistics that they kept for the Junior League World Series, and when I popped them up 3 weeks ago or whatever, that's one that jumped out. I think in all of the chances in the entire tournament, they had 2 errors. It's just a really good team could have 10 times as many of those errors. That's really kind of amazing.
They show up and it's business. I mean, it's business at the hotel. They take it seriously, and you know, as they should. And obviously, their record speaks for itself.
It also helps when you can when you have the depth of pitching that they have showed consistently. I mean, last year it really showed out again because they just kept rolling out kids. You know, all of a sudden you're on their 4th or 5th kid, and he looks like your best kid. Yeah, you know, that kind of thing. Let's go back to your team. When you were looking to build this team, what were you looking for? I've heard a lot of different answers to that from different coaches.
So I've been lucky to be around these boys since they're 8. Blair's been around because his son's been on there. Joe's been around, you know, because you got, you know, the connections with Bassinetti's. I don't want to speak for all of us, but I would say, you know, just talking, we're looking for depth. We're looking for plug and play. You know, we don't want one shortstop, one, you know, like this year we got multiple catchers, and that's a rarity. You know, that's multiple outfielders. We got a lot of kids that you can plug and play places, and that's personally what I look for as far as just having the depth to where when one goes down, the next one comes up. You know.
I would also say how these kids get along on and off the field. Like they're actually friends. Like it's rare to find like a whole team that, in my opinion, that's like that.
100%.
Like, you know, they're actually buddies. They like they do stuff outside the field, and on the field there's no egos. They just play the play. They're a team. You know, so I can't say that about many teams I've coached. This is definitely a team like that.
What about you, Joe?
Just effort and a need to win. Like these guys, they like to win in travel. They need to win in Little League. It's Little League. It just flips a switch inside of them, and that's kind of what we look for.
Which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
How much time, we talked about this off camera, how much time has this team spent together this year? Because when you get these kind of all-star teams, you never know what you're getting from, kind of a true, we just put them together for the off-season, the postseason, to teams that play on a regular basis. So what, Joe, you want to answer that, or Blair?
Well, majority of this team played together since November.
Okay.
And I would also say probably the last 3 years. So the core has been together for a while through All-Stars and travel, and that's where we're at now. That's why I think there's such a strong bond with them. So. And
you guys have been successful in the past with this team. How can you give me what were some of the bigger?
Well, last year, state, we won the states. We ended up going to the regional final and faced Wisconsin. So we ended up in the losers bracket there, but we battled our way back, and I think we were still considered the favorites, and we just kind of ran into the brick wall. But other than that, I think we finished second in the state a couple times. We've always been there. This team has always been there, been in the spotlight, and they're a winning bunch.
And that helps. Yeah. There's no doubt. Tell me, what are the strengths of this team? If you weren't coaching them, if you were coaching against them, and I'm gonna point to you, Joe.
Let's go, Joe.
What would you say the strength of this team is?
Definitely the chemistry.
Okay.
This team gets together really well. They talk very well inside the dugout. On the field, maybe we can work on that a little bit better. But when it's all working together, the defense, the pitching, and when we're hitting, this team's unstoppable. Unstoppable.
And is that what it's going to take to make a run in this tournament?
Absolutely. There's going to be some very good teams coming here.
Exactly. What about, and we did talk about this beforehand, but let's go back through that a little bit. When it comes to expectation levels, okay, it seems like every group that I've had here from Taylor North that sat in your chairs had certain expectation levels. And it kind of shocked me. I remember when Rick Thorning was across from me, and he and geez, I'm trying to remember, it was Guido Ullman and someone else, it may have been Surma's father who was on camera, and Rick just looked me in the eye and said, this team could make a run. And this was back when we were talking about the Little League World Series, and they were far from, they were just going to the regional at that time, and he really, you could tell he really thought that they could get there. And that was kind of shocking to me because I didn't expect that. Hey, it's cool, you win the state, you can do this, you can do that. What's your expectation level going to the tournament?
I expect for us to win the U.S. bracket.
Okay.
That's my expectation. I think we have the talent to do it. And if everything clicks, we'll be there.
Which gives you a shot at the big prize.
100%.
Have you thought, I don't want to bang the Taipei drum too much here, but let's say you're hot and you get to Chinese Taipei. Is there a way to shake that program? I mean, I haven't seen it.
I would like to think that we would find a way.
Okay.
I'm not sure there is. Maybe if we have the whole city come out and maybe that rattles them or something. I don't know, but they're a machine.
Let's go to when you guys open. You guys are open at 4 o'clock on Sunday the 9th. That's opening day against the winner of the East Regional. Before we get into your individual players, Joe, you told me off camera that you've actually got kind of a scouting report out there for the East. So give us what you see. Now they're not, the East has not gotten to the winner yet, okay? But what do you see?
Honestly, I fully expect to be playing Freehold Township, New Jersey, on August 9th.
Okay.
If they're not here, I don't know what happened.
Why do you fully expect to see them? Are they that good?
They're very good. They got 2 top end pitchers for sure, and they play good defense. They hit okay. They could hit better, but they hit okay.
Okay.
But that team, they made a run to the 50-70 World Series last year. Won a game there, so it's kind of what I'm expecting to see here.
Now, the East traditionally has not been extremely strong in this tournament. Okay, it's possible that their teams just haven't played well. You seem to get, like in most baseball, you seem to get the real threats coming out of those great weather climates. The Southeast, the far West, especially if you had Hawaii here or somebody like that. But the East hasn't traditionally done that. Now, I know the Southeast made a real nice run last year. Very athletic, powerful, fast team, kind of the exception of the rule. I know that one kid, and I forget his name.
Jaden Cannon.
Bingo, exactly. There you go. He may have been, he was a college kid playing I talked to him several times during the tournament, and he not only looked physically the part, but he talked the part. He was a real nice young gentleman, and he fully expects to. I think he's going to be a football player, But it's kind of amazing when you see somebody like that.
Oh yeah, he was the real deal.
Yeah,
he talked the talk, walked the walk.
Right, exactly. Had a lot of fun out there.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about your team now. We might as well start with pitching because many times that's where it starts and often stops. Who are we going to see on the mound for you guys when it comes to that Sunday? Do you know who you're going to start?
I think we probably have a rough idea. I'll let Blair answer these questions, but
okay.
Our pitching's strong. We have multiple that could be out there, but go ahead, Blair.
Yeah, we went with, if there's two off the top of the head for game one, would probably be Blake Greer and Maddox Bassinetti.
Okay.
Probably
all right.
two.
Okay, they are traditionally your top two pitchers?
Yeah, I would say.
Both right-handed, righty, lefty?
One's righty, one's lefty.
Okay, all righty. Okay, and then behind them, pitching-wise, who do you usually go to? Do you have a kind of a designated closer type, anything like that, or?
There's like, I think we're pretty deep staff. Like any of these kids could be either one or two. Not just the two I named.
Sure.
You got Jackson Farner, Blake Papler. Am I drawing a blank?
Ian Sexton.
Yeah, Ian Sexton, Rock Francis. Like any of these kids can come up and pitch. So it's not. I'm not really concerned with anybody being the number one, number two guy because it could all flip flop. Depends how the game goes too.
Yeah, and it all depends on if you can win.
Right.
Okay, then you can stay.
Yes.
A lot of times with your top guys because you get a little bit more time.
Pitch count plays a role. And,
right.
Whatnot, so.
Right. Exactly. For the audience, what are the pitch counts at this level?
0 to 20, no days. 21 to 35, 1 day. 35 to 50, 2 days. 50 to 65 is 3, and then 65 to 95 is 4.
I understand why you keep him around.
Listen, people say he's young. It's like younger and wiser.
He has the answers.
And the kids love him. He's an asset for sure.
Let's go to a position that you guys told me before we got on camera here that was a really strength of yours, catching. And that is one of the key positions when it comes to youth league at this. The more good catchers you have, usually the better your team is. Who we going to see behind the plate?
Matt Susky is our starter.
Okay.
But then we also got Milo Alvarado, who's just as capable. Then we got Maddox. Again, his name you'll hear a lot as far as moving around. He can play anywhere. And he's a lefty, but he can catch with the best of them. And then we got, I think there's 2 or 3 that catch for other teams sometimes on the squad. We never catch them, but they're capable.
That sounds a little bit like Thorning's old team. Where
hey, we can pray, right?
Yeah, really. It was funny because the more you watch the team play, it was like, okay, now they've got that kid catching, and he's almost as good as the last kid, who's almost as good as the other kid, and they could go 3 or 4 deep at times, which is kind of amazing.
Yeah, no, that's a special group,
Oh yeah,
and Cameron Thorning's a special kid. So
right.
if we can get a half Cam Thorning, we're ready to.
I hear you. How are you going to line up in the infield now? How you think you're going to line up in the infield?
So if you were to put me on the spot today and say, I would say you got Griff Adams at first, Jackson Farner at second. Depending on who's pitching, if Blake's pitching, it'd probably be Brock Francis at short or Milo at short, and then you got Ian Sexton at third.
Okay. And in your regular or best lineup, whatever you want to call it, what's the strength of the infield, do you think?
These kids are capable of playing anywhere. The flip flopping. Our weakness would be, sometimes we mentally just kind of poof. But when they're on, I would legit say pretty much any of our kids can play any position. And
right.
I think that helps us in the infield because you can kind of plug and play where you need to put them.
What about the outfield? How do you line up out there?
Go ahead.
Probably go Blake Papler in left field, Cortez in center field, and then probably Maddox in right.
And is there a strength there? Is there a definitive, how good's your center fielder?
He's good.
Okay, he's good.
Cortez is a fun kid to watch, so let's just say that.
Now, do they all run really well, or does he just have...
if you put them in a running competition, it's going to be, Cortez is going to be the best of them, but they're all capable of tracking down a ball.
Okay. Okay. All righty. Now, from a hitting standpoint, how do you guys line up? Who are the people that you usually bat at the top of the order and you bank on them getting on base? They run better than maybe other kids or whatever. Who's usually leading off, hitting second?
Usually got Milo leading off. He's just strong bat, plenty of speed. Blake Greer's number 2 hole. Cortez Loving usually the 3 hole. And we're banking on them to knock them in, get on base, and it's a strong lineup throughout the whole lineup. To be honest. But those are probably our top 3 bats when they're on. Definitely when they're on for sure. And Brock Francis, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's absolutely Brock Francis, dude. He just had a monster. He's just blossomed this year. It's just even in the past, but this year especially.
When it comes to offense, these kids feed off each other, because I noticed a couple of years ago when that Taylor North team made a run, they made a run to the final. Yeah, to the final.
Yeah, there was 2 years in a row I think they won.
Yeah, okay, and the one after Thorning's team, they made that run, and they were just hammering through this tournament.
Yeah.
For a host team, it was like, I get that team. That team went to the Little League World Series and won. This team, it was like, whoa, where did all this come from? They're throwing 10 runs a game out there. Does this team have that same kind of potential to put runs?
100%. And I think that I think that you could look at our lineup and sometimes say, why is that guy batting down there, or why and we do get that because Kyrie Harris is a name that he's one of those kids that can put it out at any time and out of nowhere, and he usually is in the bottom half of our order. I think when we're on, if we're on, we'll put up runs.
Okay, all righty. Do you guys do a lot of running with this team?
That's something new we're working on lately. Let's just put it that way. We had a couple errors in the districts that I don't think any of us were happy about. So we've agreed that running is part of our daily practice now.
Okay, all righty. With the advent of the host team, crowd sizes have changed drastically in this tournament. From the days a decade ago. Okay, we've seen 2,000. 5,000 people at some of these games, depending especially on how far the Taylor North team goes. Saw a cheering section come out of nowhere a couple of years ago, and that's kind of stuck. I assume this is a good thing, but I've also listened to coaches say it's a good thing, but there are some factors that you have to drill into your players' heads. How do you take it?
So from being a part of it, I'm not going to lie. When I stepped out on there, I was kind of like, okay, this is a little different. 'Cause I don't know, anybody who's watched me know I'm real talkative. I like to goof around a lot, but you kind of get like, okay, like there's a lot more eyes than just your family out here.
Oh yeah.
But it's an awesome feeling. It really is an awesome, and I think that you see the kids that feed off of it, and Amari Lane was one last year. He hit that. It was just. I think this team will respond well to that kind of stuff. I think they'll enjoy it, and they'll buckle down and take it more serious.
Any issues with communication problems when you get into a crowd like that that's really cuddled around the field and really can be loud? Because kids in youth ball are basically used to playing in front of 25 people, versus what you're going to see there, especially in a big game. Do you have those conversations, or do you just let it play out?
I mean, we keep our signs simple. These guys have done a fantastic job working with most of them. Real simple signs, and that way you kind of limit the talking.
Okay.
Not saying our kids pick up on it all the time, but keeping it simple, to where you don't have to yell across the field and whatnot is kind of something we're really trying to drive.
Any other, in talking to previous teams that have gone through this, and from your own experience, Tommy, any other things that you're sitting down with a team and talking over just specifically for this tournament?
I've been really preaching, have fun, because when this is that team that when they're out having fun and playing baseball, like Little League's supposed to be played, like he said, they're unstoppable. They hit, they field, if you came out to one of our practices, you see them start really talking and getting into the energy, like it's a whole different team, and then when they're equally as down, you're like, okay, this is not the team I've been coaching. But I mean, they're a very fun group, and when they're on and they're all friends, they catch fire, and they're fun to watch.
So do you do anything different to keep them loose?
I just want them to embrace the experience on and off the field, because this will be something to remember regardless what happens for the rest of their life.
Yeah, because it doesn't happen very often.
No.
I mean, a lot of people don't understand behind the scenes what goes on in tournaments like this. I mean, the day before the tournament starts, when they actually get uniforms and are able to pick out equipment and things like that, that's almost like the pros. I mean, it's kind of amazing.
They treat these kids like being a part of it last year. They treat these kids great, and you see the kids like, oh, we get this, we get that, and I mean, you're getting pictures, and little kids are coming up to them asking for autographs. And it's cool to watch, and it's big time.
Do they give you guys specialized gear?
I mean, last year we got a polo.
Okay.
Hat. I mean, they take good care of us too. We got some shoes.
You got some shoes?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
What color did you pick out?
We didn't get to pick. I think they like to keep us generic. It was just black and white. But I don't mind.
Some of those shoes are dangerous.
Yeah.
Talk about color schemes. Tommy, I'm assuming that before the team takes the field at 4:00 on that first day against the East, you're going to have the last word in the dugout, and you're going to say something maybe profound to the team. Any idea on what you're going to say beforehand?
I like to keep it simple. Again, I'm going to go back to, and it's going to sound corny and cheesy. Go out there and have fun.
Okay.
Play baseball like you guys know how to. And you'll hear me say, hey, smile, have a little fun. Because, sometimes that's the biggest thing. You watch a kid out there getting down. So I just keep it simple. Smile, have fun, play ball the way it's supposed to be played.
Did we miss anything here? Do you feel like we missed anything? Or did we cover it all?
Now I got to give my shout out to Doug Cloutier.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Doug, I told you I shot you out last year, I did, and here's this year. Love you. Oh, and Sherry, love you too.
All right, boys. Well, hey, no matter what happens at this year's tournament, congratulations on making the field, because that's a big thing now in Taylor. I think North has established kind of a tradition. If you don't get there, you got a problem.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. But this is a credit. And I agree with you, Tommy. I think a decade from now, these kids are going to still be talking about the experience that they're going to see in a couple of weeks here, which is hopefully a really good one, both on the scoreboard and off. And hopefully you guys are going to have a good time. It'll be really key. So thanks for coming on.
Appreciate you very much.
Thank you. All righty. The 2026 Junior League World Series kicks off with the opening ceremony at 8 p.m. Saturday, August the 8th at Taylor's Heritage Park. Admission and parking are free for that event. That will include all types of introductions and a parade of teams on the field, and will be capped with a fireworks display. Games officially begin the next day on Sunday, August the 9th. featuring USA Central versus USA Southeast, Canada versus Mexico, USA East versus Taylor North, and Europe Africa versus Australia. This year's game times have been moved up. They now begin at 10 a.m. and at 1, 4, and 7 p.m. on August 9, 10, 11, and 12. On Thursday, August the 13th, only 2 games will be played at 5 and 8 p.m. as the field narrows down. After an off day on Friday, August the 14th, the International Championship game will be held at 3 p.m. on Saturday, August the 15th, with the USA Championship game following at 6 p.m. The winners of the USA and International brackets will face for the Junior League World Series Championship at noon on Sunday, August the 16th. Admission is $5 per carload per day or $15 for a week's pass. Fees include parking and game admission. For up-to-date details, how to watch ESPN Plus, Junior League World Series highlights, and much more, visit the all-new Junior League World Series baseball website through www.cityoftaylor.com/World Series. Follow the Junior League World Series on Facebook and Instagram. A hidden extra during the Junior League World Series will be the appearance of the Wall That Heals, a 3/4 size replica of the Vietnam Memorial. The Wall That Heals will appear in the northern area of the park around the clock from 10 a.m. Thursday, August the 13th, through 2 p.m. on Sunday, August the 16th. Admission is free to see the Wall That Heals. Thanks again for joining us on this episode of Destination Downriver. A big thank you to Tommy Stubbe and coaches Blair Adams and Joe Allen for coming on the show today. Thanks to Kaylee Guffey, Joe Camilleri, Kate Curry, and Rich Williams for all their work behind the scenes. That caps another episode of Destination Downriver. I'm Carl Zymak, hoping to see you all at the ball games during the Junior League World Series.
Thank you to our team sponsor, Allegra, Marketing, Print, and Design.
With a special thanks to our production partners here at the new Taylor Media Center. Thanks for listening and watching. Please visit our website, destinationdownriver.com, or our Facebook page, and be sure to join us for next month's podcast.